I want us to talk about the Museveni's end of year speech
Mhm.
and Bobi Wine's end of year speech. What did you pick from both of their speeches?
You know, that is a nice. By the way, it is nice. I watched both speeches and I wanted to learn something new in each of them. I wanted to benchmark maybe in future if I'm in their position. Just I imagined, there are two things that our viewers. There are two things that, according to Albert Einstein, he taught us that there are two things that are infinite. That is the human imagination and the human stupidity. So those two things, when being an imaginary person, I imagine things because I also know that imagination creates reality. That aside, I ask myself, okay, these guys are talking. Each of them is a possible president. They can have my country. So I wanted to learn something new as a Ugandan from each of the speakers, and then I just noticed that someone has new ideas and someone has very old-fashioned ideas. I'm not trying to bash anyone anyway. I'm not here to. But let me make my point. Mr. Museveni, Yoweri Kaguta, he was the first person to speak. That is on 31st, I think. Yes, 31st or 1st. He spoke. The usual guy, very calm, very comical sometimes. He puts his words. Yes, but I wanted to learn in his comical, scripted speeches, the usual one. But unfortunately, he made the usual statements, the, using different wordings. You get. Mr. Museveni wanted to portray that a states is now is a statesman, is under control, is a militant. So he came with that cocktail of a president, that cocktail of a leader. That you will learn nothing. The cocktail he has is to show you that he's the only man with a vision, like he's been saying it. I saw that again. Since we're going into election, I expected at least Mr. Yoweri Kaguta Museveni to make one single statement that me and the fellow Ugandans who wish Uganda to go ahead, to move forward, to say that, okay, maybe we're going in elections, we're a few days away, 2 weeks away. If Ugandans vote me out as Yoweri Kaguta Museveni Tibuhaburwa, I'll hand power to the next president. Because this is a speech he made when we are heading to elections, right? What could be the possible outcome of an election? You lose or win, or you're defeated, right? As an incumbent. But it seemed like Yoweri Kaguta Tibuhaburwa, for him in his speech, these are my words, he was telling us that he has no hope in any other person. Actually, one of the statements he made, he called the opposition crocs, or cocks, something like that. It was the usual campaign rhetoric he usually makes. You understand? Hmm? Then I went ahead to look at the body language of was it the Secretary General calling him Tata? You did.
Lumumba.
Lumumba. You may excuse me, I just spared her name purposefully. Then we see the likes of Kiwanda, like, is the usual old guy, you understand? Nothing new. It's the same bottle, same wine, and just kind of new brand called Securing Your Future. But in whatever, like, it is equivalent to taking pills, those days when we were growing up, we were very young. There was a type of a tablet called chloroquine. It used to, when you put it, you scratch your body. I felt like I'm taking the same kind of tablet. I had to be scratching my mind, being hopeful, like, oh, maybe it's going to say something new. Maybe finally the guy will say, okay, I'm gonna let go. I'm gonna guide this nation. I felt like it is this time, like around this time, he would have prepared us to see him as a father of nation. Other countries have their fathers of nation. When you talk about that in Kenya, they will tell you the light of the nation, that is Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. We see his statues. You understand? Because previously I've watched him opening up new headquarters of SFC named after him, hoping that now a guy may be doing these things, is showing us that he's moving. You want to be remembered for good things. Maybe Ugandans were very good people. We would have forgiven him, even the Kasese massacre, just like ICC. Maybe we would have joined them and say, okay, let us forgive him. Anyway, to cut the story short, let me go back to the speech. It was the usual speech, Mr. Yoweri Museveni. I did not learn anything new. Maybe I just learned another new way to abuse opponents. Call them cocks, things like crocs. Yeah, words like that. I didn't know that word. How to use it, like basically how to use it to refer to somebody. I learned it. Things like that. Then, when I got to the contender, Robert Chagulanyi. Man, you may dislike this guy, you may abuse his past, even you may try to threaten his present. Trust me, he's a different character. One thing I noticed in Chagulanyi's speech, he is on ground himself. You see what is going on. I'll start with the funny thing. There is what they call a walk to freedom. He throw his legs like this. That was funny. He's also comic. Like, his charisma comes even when he's addressing the smallest audience. That walk, because people are saying, oh, he's not the one, it was by accident. So I was like, I can repeat it. Right? Nice. That is, now I'm starting from where he ended. Then, also, he showed that he knows whatever is happening in the country, what is happening. He talked about these boxers that are getting murdered, the likes of Senyange. That is nice, though he was the other side. He also, then later he went on talking about different things and guiding the country on what they should do during COVID-19. He was not just a usual lamenter, he's a changed person. Actually, today, Bobi Wine looks like a reformist and a statesman. Like, he's kind of reforming himself and reforming everything. And he's aware, like he noticed, he also made us aware. I didn't know that actually the government of Uganda is having polling stations in barracks. He made us know about that. We didn't know. I didn't know that different barracks, they are now going to be turned into polling stations, right? And those polling stations, of course, they will favor who? The incumbent, because after all, is the commander-in-chief and is not showing any signs of leaving. But the takeaway, and in his speech, first of all, it was a precise and a sweet speech. Point on, speak. People are using data, don't waste their data. But also what to take away, as Mr. Museveni, Kaguta, the president of Uganda today, he used his position, he abused the power of being a president, also to campaign. He forced all the TV stations, whether private or public, they were showing him. But then when he was coming, want to take away, the songs they played, his own songs, Chagulanyi songs, the likes of them, which is peace, let us go and vote peacefully. Like the time bomb, I saw that advert that captured everything that is going on, all those things. They are nice, but what to take away, I saw what I can define as political innovation. His camp is innovative. And another thing I noticed that Chagulanyi is learning each and every day. This one you can notice it from his posts. Guys, if you don't mind, we'll do episodes. We'll analyze Chagulanyi posts. You see how he has improved even in his communication skills. He's improving himself. He's not stuck. Actually, today Chagulanyi, at least he has to use 1 or 2 words you don't know, which you have to go and check. Is this Chagulanyi? You understand? Just to confirm. So a guy, what I'm saying, is changing. The last thing he did in his speech, that was a takeaway home, what I call political innovation. His marketing strategy is good. He's saying, okay, we know that there are barracks that are going to turn into polling stations, there are things like that. So do you know what he does? He said we have an app that will work as our tele center. Do you know what it means? Chagulanyi's tele center is going to be in cloud, right? First of all, he did not tell us when you send the results, who is going to receive them, right? That threatens government somehow. And if you may permit me, I will tell you one of the effects of that political innovation is bringing in later. So the app comes. It may not be the first, but it is the first in Uganda or even East Africa, right? Very innovative. So now Chagulanyi is becoming a benchmark of opposition politics in Africa, where you have incumbents that are using a lot of force, right? That is something we have to take away home, not to take away from him, right? He understood it, and then days later we see government, the effect of that. The government says no. To become a polling agent, you must produce, what do they call it? Is it COVID certificate? Things like that. Why? You see that now Chagulanyi is trying to, they called this campaign scientific, right? This is the real scientific approach rather than the crude, because now the government is using crude methods of rigging votes by how open new polling stations, and these polling stations put them in places where citizens cannot approach, so they will be guarded by what? By a gun, right? So Chagulanyi says, fine, me, will get because I've tried to study the app. It's really nice. It takes you up to your village level. Like the inputs of this app, it is really personalized to the whole campaign thing. Like they did kind of a database of EC, put it in this app. You say, me, I'm in Chotela, I'm in Kisula, I'm in Apak district, which polling station CD, which is on parish, everything is in it. So you put and that protects him from fake polling stations. And that is nice. That is being scientific. That is protecting the possible deaths of government. The last elections, when FDC were trying to create a polling a tally center at their headquarters, they were slammed. You get. Now he's not risking lives. That is something I take away. And for me, the speech, the three speeches, actually, they were literally, one was addressing Ugandans and a different generation, and the other was addressing the Abarwanyi, the Bushmen. You understand? That is what. So they were totally different speeches.
So as we conclude, we can engage in a funny activity. I want you to rate the two speeches out of 10.
No, that is a, I'm not a good. I think I cannot be a good teacher to rate students, and being a bit scientific. It is hard for me. I deal with facts, so when I use that scale, I think factually the impact of the speech. That's what we should take away. When Chagulan said, "I'm launching the app," right? We see the impact and the energy. You understand? It is brought in on the ground. You understand? Tick. So then, when Museveni said that he won't allow the Bushmen, whatever he called them, and croaks, what impact has he done? I see nothing. So for that reason, I think Mr. Yoweri Museveni, being my grandfather, I think he deserves a 5% because he attended. And then I'll give Chagulanyi something like 80.75. Hey guys, if you've managed to get this far in this video, please, we thank you for that. And we also say, can you please subscribe? Please subscribe to our channel so that you give us more energy to make videos like this. And please, we plan to get more programs and more people on this channel, but you have to give us that energy by subscribing. And near a subscription button, there is another arrow, which is a share button. Please, can you share our videos after watching?